Yes. Oh wow, today we have some fantastic news. Today's video is going to be about football because we have some fantastic news. At least I've got some fantastic news for you today. And the whole of Manchester. Wow. Let's just get straight into it. So, United have signed Erik ten Hag a couple of days ago, about a week ago. Now, this is fantastic news. To be quite fair, this is frankly nothing new. He was in the spokes of likely becoming a new potential manager of Manchester United for next upcoming season for a couple of months, actually. We had a potential chance of signing Conte a couple of months ago, but we decided to sign Ralf Rangnick. And wow, has it been great under him? No, it hasn't. But yet again, we can say that for years it hasn't been fantastic at United, but this might be one of the worst seasons we've probably had in a while since Alex Ferguson retired in 2012-2013, which was the last year we actually fought for the title race. And, if I'm not mistaken, about 2-3 years ago, we were second place. So, that is great to know that we got Erik ten Hag. I'm very, very interested. Now look, if Erik ten Hag doesn't and can't seem to manage, unfortunately, do any spectacular stuff for next season upcoming for United, then we've got to be honest and say, hey, listen, it's not the manager, it's the players. Because something I've noticed at United for quite some time is the arrogancy, the selfishness under some players. Now, next season, we're looking at some midfielders, we're looking at strikers, because we've got to look for new potential upcoming strikers. Because Ronaldo's either going to stay or either going to leave. We don't know, because he's coming at the age. The guy's almost 38, so you need a fresh pair of legs. Rashford isn't going to do it because Rashford is out of form, and I'm actually kind of hoping that he gets sold next season. You'll probably get about 25, 35, 40 million for Rashford, even though he's not in current status really performing well. He's still a very good world-class player. The thing is with Marcus Rashford, unfortunately, he should have been at Kylian Mbappe's level right now, player-wise, performances, trophy-wise. Even though Mbappe hasn't really won anything important yet. He's 20, 21 or something. He's in his career. And at this age, Ronaldo and Messi were winning Champions Leagues. But different league, different type of time. We need some changes to be made. And some very important, crucial changes for next upcoming season. If we want to participate in at least the top 4, top 3, we've got to drop some players. We've got to get rid of them. We've either got to loan them out or preferably sell them. I'm going to get straight into it. We've got to get rid of Maguire. We have to get rid of Lindelof. Luke Shaw. Wan-Bissaka is a difficult one, because he's defensive good. He's better than the lot defensive, but when you look at the offensive stats and you look at percentages of crosses and threats down the wing, you have to be honest and say Luke Shaw and Aaron Wan-Bissaka are unfortunately not modern day left back and right backs, because modern left backs and right backs like Alphonso Davies, like Carvajal, are defensive but also very good offensive. And that is something that we are kind of lacking. You know, you've got the likes of Ronaldo, you've got the likes of McTominay, Pogba, Cavani, and yet there's no crosses coming in the 16 every time that they've got the ball. And they lose the ball quite often. And unfortunately, Wan-Bissaka does kind of fuck up pretty often on the midfield, because he doesn't really cross the midfield. He stays back behind corners. Dalot is a preferred choice for me personally at the moment. Dalot's been playing very good. I like him offensive. Defensive sometimes, he is slacking sometimes. He doesn't really have the physique. He has the pace. But defensive-wise, he isn't better than Wan-Bissaka. But when you look at him offensive, you're like, okay, this guy is good. The left back, Luke Shaw, had a phenomenal season last year. This season has not really been good. Hasn't really lived up to his expectations. His best season so far in his career was last year. He played really, really good, European qualifications, but before that, he was playing good. And other players we got to get rid of is McTominay. Now, players that I would like to stay is De Gea. Lindelof is a questionable one because he's better than Maguire. We've obviously known that for quite some time. Maguire isn't good, and we've seen and noticed that Maguire cannot perform next to Lindelof, can't perform next to Varane, and I think it's starting to personally bother a lot of players within United that he's playing every single game. I can guarantee you for a fact that Bruno Fernandes does not like Maguire, that Ronaldo doesn't like Maguire, and De Gea doesn't like Maguire. De Gea is going to stay. I know that for a fact, and I'm very pleased. As you guys may or may not know, De Gea was rumored to go to Real Madrid actually quite a while ago, a year and a half, 2 years ago, because he wasn't doing good. He was in a massive dip. He's revived himself really, really good. And he's on number 1. Dean Henderson's highly likely going to get loaned out. I mean, he has to, man. It ain't fair on him. It really ain't. And now United are looking for a new potential goalkeeper. It's like, fucking hell, we already got 4 goddamn goalkeepers. Two of them that are 35 plus of age, Lee Grant, Ben Heaton, they don't even fucking play no games. I mean, what in God's name is Lee Grant doing there? He must be like an assistant or something, because he ain't playing no games, respectfully. I don't think he's ever played a game for United at a high level, but I could be wrong. He's been at the club for years. Now, my ideal 11 for next season would be a new centre-back. I would actually prefer Phil Jones over Maguire. And Bailly, I don't understand for some unknown reason why we don't use Phil Jones. The one game he played this season, he outperformed and outplayed Maguire, with all due respect. Maguire is overrated. And here's the thing with a lot of Premier League clubs with purchasing new players, is they buy British players. Now look, it is the Premier League, so you'd assume, the dominant league means that, most people are British. Most players in the Premier League aren't even fucking English. They're non-English. They're foreigners. And that's great, because that means that they're better footballers in general. I don't know about you, but the likes of Pogba, Mahrez, the off background have African backgrounds. They got one of the best footballers. Portuguese, you've seen Ronaldo turn out to be one of the best in the world with Messi. Bruno Fernandes, one of the best, under Toni Kroos, Luka Modric. But with all due respect, Bruno Fernandes has still got to reach that performance and peak of Modric. What a game against Chelsea that was. Oh, that cross with the outside of his toe. That made me cream, man. I don't know. I ain't a Real Madrid fan, but that was a fucking great game. Benzema with a hat-trick again. Now, this might sound really stupid, but Benzema, I think, would fit perfectly in United. I think him and Ronaldo, because they've always been good, they've always been a very good like pair at Real Madrid. These two would perform excellent. And Benzema is the type of striker you want, because Cavani's, expected to leave next season, which is really fucking disappointing, because I really loved him whilst he was there. He wasn't even meant to extend his contract this season. He was actually meant to go to Boca Junior last year or somewhere in Argentina. But he's definitely going to leave. Lingard's highly likely going to leave, which, we should have sold him a year ago when we had the chance, when West Ham was offering £40 million. Now it's not even worth fucking 15 million on the market. United's business is struggling. They are in financial debts, even though they don't say it. They are 500 million plus pounds in debt. And it's the same thing with Barcelona. How the fuck are they affording all these players? I don't know about y'all, this might sound stupid, but I think there's a thing in football that you can pay off players as well. I mean, you have to, right? If your club's in debt and you want new players, you got to pay it off in one go. You have to sell certain players. Because it's ironic. They couldn't, extend Messi's contract. They couldn't afford him. Yet 2 months later, they bought a player worth 50, 60 million. It's like, what? And they're struggling. With all due respect, they're not playing the greatest, but they're slowly starting to become better. But anyways, back to United. If United want to participate in the title, we have to drop some players. And that definitely includes Maguire. I don't know what the fuck Erik ten Hag's got to do with this goddamn dude next season. I hope that he has the brains to say, you know what, we're going to get rid of him. Just going to sell him straight away. What could we get for Maguire? I think a lot of clubs don't fucking want Maguire. I mean, when you look at us and compares to Man City, Manchester City was the laughingstock defensive-wise 2-3 years ago. They had Otamendi, but now they got one of the best defenders in the world. They've got a lineup that you say, fuck. Walker, Zinchenko, left back. They got Cancelo. They have Ruben Diaz. They've got Nathan Ake. They've got Stones. And Stones was a miserable player a long time ago. He was crap. But Guardiola, man, it's something with that dude. He's got fucking magic on his fingers, man. He can do the work. Look what he did at Bayern Munich. Look what he did with either Barca or Real Madrid. He was fucking fantastic. Every club he's been to, he's revived them. He's made the players individually, class-wise. Look what he did with Joshua Kimmich at Bayern. He made him a world-class midfielder who doesn't get spoken enough about. Thomas Müller, the same thing. Very underrated players in today's generation. But we have to drop some players. You have to fucking do it. There's no goddamn choice. You want to participate and compete in the title race, Maguire has got to be dropped and sold. We need to splurge. Not even splurge, but even if that means we play by E, fuck it, let it be. Because the thing is, what we're lacking in the central defensive, we're lacking speed. The physique is there, but the composure, the agility, and the speed is lacking. Varane is fast, but the pull-up isn't there. With Bailly, he's got pace and the pull-up. And that's something what we need. And I don't seem to understand why we haven't been playing Bailly and Phil Jones compared, or Phil Jones with Varane. It just doesn't make sense. And, same goes for Pogba. I don't know if he's going to stay this season. There's no affirmative saying, okay, yes, he's going to stay or not. The likelihood of him leaving is very, very high. there's a high chance he might just go to Real Madrid. I think it would make sense. Yes, considering Luka Modric and Toni Kroos is getting on the age, they need someone, with Camavinga and Casemiro. Real Madrid will be a good team for him. But we need something back for that in return. But I really hope Erik ten Hag can make out something really good next season. And let's not forget Donny van de Beek. God, am I fucking excited, because there is 100% guarantee almost that he's going to play under ten Hag. They were at Ajax for a few years. That's also great for him. He's coming back after the season from loan at Everton. We've got Amad Diallo. Ahmed, the African dude, the Ivory Coast player that's in Scotland right now. We've got some really good players, but we just don't know how to use them. And that's the same thing with Pogba. We've got a world-class midfielder who could arguably be one of the best in the world and in the league, but we don't have a single clue how we're supposed to use him. He's not a CDM. He's a fucking central midfielder / cam. Stop playing him as a CDM as well. It pisses me off. But anyways, I hope we make some really important purchases. I hope we sell a couple of players next season. Well, we'll see what the season's going to be like. And if Ten Hag can't seem to do something about it, then you have to be honest to say, this time, again, third time in a row in a year, it's not the manager, but it's the players. Thank you so much for watching this video. Peace out.